Hare Krishna. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nityananda. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharani Nirvasesha Sunyavadi Paskachade Satarani Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Guru Bhakti Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. We're going to sing a song by Narottam Das Thakur, but we're going to do that a little bit later. Today is the most auspicious day. Oh, thank you very much. That's kind of you. The appearance day of Lord Nityananda. Now, we'll get into all of this in a moment, but we cannot actually find happiness in this world. Everybody's trying for it. It's like mercury, you know. I met a man one time, and he was an old friend of mine from high school. And he told me, you know, he said, I've been everywhere I want to go. I've seen everything I want to see. I've got more money than I can possibly spend. He said, I have grabbed life with both hands. And he said, but happiness slipped right through my fingers. So, and it doesn't matter where you go, how high up you go, So, people are suffering and people are struggling, and even they don't know it, even they don't admit it, even they're too foolish to see it. You see the drunk in the gutter singing. So what to do? The Lord Nityananda's appearance, this is not the right place. We need to be in the right place. We need to go back home. If I have oil and... Dvijamani's a strong young man. I give Dvijamani a jar, half full of oil, half full of water. And I say, can you just mix these two things for me? Can you just mix them? Well, how's that going to work out, Dvijamani? He can do it. He'll shake it, he'll mix, and for a moment, it may appear homogeneous. But as soon as you stop shaking it, it separates. What's the problem? He didn't shake long enough, he didn't shake hard enough. What's the problem? Huh? He stopped shaking. Yeah, well, it doesn't work. Oil and water don't mix. You take a fish out of water, give him an American Express black card, unlimited Even an American Express black card, they're made out of metal. I was at the doctor's office the other day, and it's interesting to note the person with the Amex black card was at the doctor's office with me. And now that just coincidentally we were there at the same time. So she has issues. But she stuck her black card to pay for her parking, jammed the whole machine. So, you know, you give the fish an Amex black card, you give them a Rolls Royce, what do they call? Silver Cloud? I forget what those ones are called. You know, give them all the movie star, Marilyn Monroe, whoever, you know. Is the fish happy? What do you think? Is the fish happy? No. Just give him a little more. Is the fish going to be happy then? What's the problem? Help me out. He's not built that way. It's not his environment. He's not at home. You know, one of the most popular themes, you know, it's love, longing for love, finding love, losing love, winning love back. It's one of the most popular storylines since time immemorial. Looking for love in all the wrong places. So we're not made that way. So what to do? So Lord Nityananda, we're going to read about it in a minute, but we need to get out of this place, and where we actually need to get to is the spiritual world. And at the center of the spiritual world, beyond Ram and Sita, beyond Lakshman, Lakshmi and Narayan, they're all emanations resting upon Radha and Krishna. We need to attain the lotus feet, the shelter of Radha and Krishna. And and Radha and Krishna come perfectly packaged, mercifully packaged in this age as, other than Dravida, Maiteyas. How do Radha and Krishna come to us in this age? Okay, they come combined. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Gaur Sundar, he's Shama Sundar, tinged with Radharani's beautiful golden Gaur Sundar. So, but how to approach? We need to go back, we need to get out of this world. Getting out of this world means finding the shelter of Radha and Krishna. Finding the shelter of Radha Krishna means we have to take shelter of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who's made it so easy. Bargain, basement, discount, 100% off the original price. But how do you approach Radha and Krishna? You have to approach through Lord Nityananda. So today is the appearance day of that Lord Nityananda. So I wanted to read something from, this is from the Ādi-līlā 5th chapter by Krishnadas Kaviraj. And it describes the position of Lord Nityananda. So we know who Lord Nityananda is. We may know there's a historical figure. We may, have some little glimmer. If I know depending on what I've done. If I know Trump or I know Biden, I can get a presidential pardon. So Lord Nityananda gives some mercy. But who is Lord Nityananda? What is the... Because later on we'll read the pastimes of Lord Nityananda. But who... I mean, it's inconceivable who Lord Nityananda actually is. So, and also, it's quite heartfelt. Krishnadas Kaviraj is writing how Lord Nityananda has personally come and saved him, the author of the Chaitanya-Caritāmṛta, which is accepted in literary circles as the great medieval classic of Bengal, India. People prefer all over the world. In University of Calcutta, which is the best Sanskrit school in the world. And if you want to make an American comparison, University of Chicago, Professor Dimick, who's passed away in a drunken stupor, but was the top Sanskrit scholar in the world. They studied just for the Bengali poetry and the structure and the nuance and the beauty of the writing craftsmanship. They read Chaitanya-Caritāmṛta. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, people will learn Bengali just to read Chaitanya-Caritāmṛta. So, the author of that Chaitanya-Caritāmṛta, in describing the mercy of Lord Nityananda, narrates his own personal biography, life story, how he personally was delivered by Lord Nityananda. So we're going to read a little bit of that. This is the Ādi-līlā, 5th chapter, Glories of Lord Nityananda. And I'm just for time's sake going to read the English, and we've selected some verses. So it's probably about a dozen verses running from text 6 all the way to 223 or something. But just a few select verses. That original Krishna appeared in Navadvip as Lord Chaitanya, and Balaram appeared with him as Lord Nityananda. So who is Lord Nityananda? Anyone want to say? Mataji, who is Lord Nityananda? He's Lord Balaram. He's come again. May Sri Nityananda Ram be the object of my constant remembrance. Now, just to give his ontological status, Sankarshan, Seshanaga, and the Vishnus who lie down in the Karana ocean, Garbha ocean, and the ocean of milk, the super soul, are but his plenary portions and portionage of his plenary portions. Krishna, all the universes emanate from Karanadakshayi Vishnu's breathing in his pores, and then he expands again as the second Vishnu inside each one, and from his navel comes the lotus and Brahman, all creation. And then he expands again in everyone's heart as Kshirodakshayi Vishnu. That they are expansions, portions, results of, depending upon Lord Nityananda. In all the forms he tastes the transcendental bliss of serving Krishna. That same Balaram is Lord Nityananda, the companion of Lord Gaurasundar. I offer my full obeisances under the feet of Sri Nityananda Ram, whose partial representative, called Karanadakshayi Vishnu, lying on the Karana ocean, is the original Purush, the master of the illusory energy and the shelter of all the universes. I offer my full obeisances at the feet of Sri Nityananda Ram, a partial part of whom is Garbhodakshayi Vishnu. From the navel of Garbhodakshayi Vishnu sprouts the lotus that is the birthplace of Brahma, the engineer of the universe. The stem of that lotus, in that stem of the lotus, is resting multitude of planets. I offer my respectful obeisances unto Sri Nityananda Ram, whose secondary part is the Vishnu lying down in the ocean of milk. That Kshirodakshayi Vishnu is the supersoul of all living entities and the maintainer of the universe. That's Lord Nityananda Ram's power. Supersoul, who's maintaining everything, is the inside every atom. That's Lord Nityananda. Seshanaga, of course, Seshanaga is holding all the planets on his hoods. That Seshanaga is his further subpart. That person whom Lord Ananta is a kala, or a part of a plenary part, is Lord Nityananda Prabhu. Who, therefore, can know the pastimes of Lord Nityananda? Thus, Lord Nityananda has unlimited incarnations. In transcendental emotion, that same Nityananda calls him, that same Lord Balaram, that same Sankarshan, is a servant of Lord Chaitanya. Sometimes he serves Lord Chaitanya as his guru, sometimes as his friend, sometimes as his servant. Just as Lord Balaram played with Lord Krishna in these three different moods in Braj. Lord Chaitanya is also the only controller. All others are his associates and servants. His elders, such as Lord Nityananda, Advaitacharya, and Srinivas Thakur, as well as his other devotees, be they juniors, equals, or playing as superiors, are all his associates to help him, in his pastimes. Lord Gauranga fulfills his aims with their help. Lord Nityananda Sarup formerly appeared as Lakshman and served Lord Ram as his younger brother, just as he comes as... anyway, you understand. The activities of Lord Ram were full of suffering. His wife was banished, he lost his kingdom, his father died, had to wander in the forest. Even he came back as the king, he had to banish his wife to set the example. So it's said that the Ramayana is a source for crying. The activities of Lord Ram were full of suffering. But Lakshman, of his own accord, tolerated that suffering. As the younger brother, he could not stop Lord Ram from his resolution, and so he remained silent, although unhappy in his mind. This is Lakshman. When the Lord appeared again, he, Balaram, became his elder brother to serve him to his heart's content and make him enjoy all sorts of happiness. So coming again, that same Lakshman, now he came as the senior. And so he could serve, he could, and minimize all of his suffering. Lord Chaitanya is the same Krishna, and Lord Nityananda is the same Lord Balaram. Lord Nityananda fulfills all of Lord Chaitanya's desires. So, that gives you a little idea of the position, the source of all the Vishnus, the source of Seshanaga, the source of all creation. At the same time, and what is his mood? His mood is like the elder brother serving Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. As he did as Lord Balaram, now he's serving as Lord Nityananda. Lord Nityananda. Okay, now Lord Nityananda appears to Krishnadas Kaviraj in a dream. This is how we got. And I have a photograph, and you can see it yourself. The actual handwriting of Krishnadas Kaviraj. Krishnadas Kaviraj was the custodian of the will of Jiva Goswami. The 6 Goswamis, we see the Radha Govinda temple, we see the Madan Mohan temple, we see these temples, we see Radha Kund. They were land. They were owned. They were owned in the names of the different Goswamis. And they had deeds, there were land records. And Krishnadas Kaviraj, and you can see those deeds, you can see those wills. They were real, it's only 500 years ago, or plus a little. So you can see Vishnudas Chakravarti Thakur and Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswamis were the witnesses of Jiva Goswami's will. And you can see them, so they could protect these temples and protect these places, and their disciples would inherit them and take care of them and hand them. That's why these temples are still there. Radharaman temple, that's why they're still maintained nicely. So they're real people, and he's telling his life. How did he come to be in Vrindavan and writing the the Caitanya-Caritāmṛta and come to the apex of full spiritual life? So here's the story. Oh, my dear Krishna, this is Chaitanya, and Lord Nityananda appears to him in a dream. It's a whole wonderful story leading up to it, but we don't have time. But finally, Lord Nityananda blesses Krishnadas Kaviraj. And I included this because if we get the mercy of Lord Merciful Nityananda, does anyone here ask for the moon to shine on them? Did you have to petition the moon? Did you send a letter? Did you stand in line? Did you have to pay some ticket fee? Anybody here? Even you don't want it, the moon is shining on you. So Nitai Padakamala, which we're going to sing in a few moments, Lord Nityananda's lotus feet are compared to the soothing moon. Because as I was saying at the very beginning, this is not a happy place. You can fool some of the people, some of the time. You can fool all of the people all of the time, but you can't. That would work with me. But we can work, but see, there we go. We lost the rhythm. You can fool some of the people some of the time. You can fool some of the people all the time. But you can never fool all the people all the time. So similarly, you can get a few flash-in-the-pan momentary happinesses, but you can never get it sustained. So what is the perfection of spiritual life, and how do we achieve it? That's an intelligent question. Here is how it happens, by the mercy of Lord Nityananda. So Lord Nityananda is appearing to Krishnadas Kaviraj. He says, my dear Krishnadas, this is from the 5th Ādi-līlā, 5th chapter, starts 195. Oh, my dear Krishnadas, do not be afraid. Go to Vrindavan, for there you will attain all things. That which we're actually looking for, we can attain in Vrindavan by the mercy of Lord Nityananda. And what is that? After saying this, he directed me towards Vrindavan by waving his hand. He then disappeared with all of his associates. So Nityananda appeared told Krishnadas, go to Vrindavan, go to Vrindavan, you will attain all things. So this is Krishnadas Kaviraj speaking. All glory to Lord Nityananda Balaram, by whose mercy I have attained the shelter of the transcendental abode of Vrindavan. So if we want actual shelter, actual relief, we have to make it to Vrindavan. We have to get out of this world and go back to the kingdom of God. And how do we do that? Anyone want to say? How do we? Yeah, Matthias, 10 points. Only by Lord Nityananda's mercy. All glories to the merciful Lord Nityananda, by whose mercy I have attained shelter at the lotus feet of Rupa and Sanatan. So he's gotten Vrindavan. And he got Vrindavan by the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And with Vrindavan unpacked, what did he also get? The lotus feet of Sri Rupa and Sanatan. By his mercy, Lord Nityananda, I've attained the shelter of great personality, Sri Raghunath Das Goswami. And by his mercy, I found refuge of Sri Sarup Damodar. By the mercy of Sri Chaitanya, Sri Sanatana Goswami, I've learned the final conclusions of devotional service, and by the mercy of Rupa Goswami, I've tasted the highest nectar of life. All glories to the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda, by whose mercy I've attained Sri Sri Radha Govinda. Sound like a good deal? Would you like to have the shelter of all these great acharyas, of the spiritual world, of the lotus feet of Radha Govinda, sitting on their jeweled thrones, surrounded by the Asasakis? Would you like that? Comes by the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Lord Nityananda. Sorry about that. Who in this world but Lord Nityananda could show his mercy to such an abominable person as me? There was a devotee in Detroit. Anyway, she stood up and she said, "Oh, Prabhupada, I'm the most fallen." Interrupted Prabhupada's talk. I'm the most this, I'm the most that. Prabhupada said, actually, you're not the most anything. Please sit down. We're not the most anything. We're not even the most significant. We're not a big demon like Ranyaksha. We're nothing special. Tell that to your, low self-esteem folks. But is our illusion more powerful than Lord Nityananda? What do you think? Ram? Anyone want to offer? We're just reading about Lord Nityananda, who's the source of all three Vishnus, and the source of the illusory energy, the material energy. So are we stronger than Lord Nityananda? Help me out. So if Lord Nityananda wants to save us, are we in more illusion than Lord Nityananda can clear? No, it's impossible. Therefore, what should we seek? The mercy of Lord Nityananda. We'll get to that in a minute. Because he's intoxicated by ecstatic love and is the incarnation of mercy, he does not distinguish between the good and the bad. That's Lord Nityananda. Everybody's qualified. Everybody gets shelter. Everybody gets a seat on the Swan airplane back to Godhead. The glories of Lord Nityananda's transcendental attributes are unfathomable. Even Lord Seish, with his thousands of mouths, cannot find their limit. So that is from Chaitanya-Caritāmṛta, to give you an idea of the power of Lord Nityananda and the power of his mercy. Now, we'll sing this Nitya Kamal at the end, but I selected a few, because I'm looking at the time, I selected a few lines out of this. It's written by Narottam Das Thakur. Narottam Das Thakur is famous for writing in very simple language, colloquial language, the essence of the Vedas, the essence of Mahaprabhu's teachings. So, Nitya Kamala, that means the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda. They're a soothing shelter. You know, when it's hot, or in many Gujarati houses, you'll find those big swings. Those, you've seen those big swings? Because it's hot in India during the summer season. And you sit on that swing, and they're usually set up outside. And you swing, you get a little breeze going, and you have the soothing moon. The moon is usually, anyway, it's very soothing. So, Nitya Kamala, because this world, what is this world compared to? It's called samsara. What does that mean? What is the analogy? Pirachandra, what is the analogy we sing every morning at Mangalarti that explains what this world is like? It is a wildfire. It is a blazing samsara. So that's what we're actually in. So when it's hot, what are you looking for? Something cooling, something soothing. Can you imagine anything more soothing than millions of moons? Because we're all looking for shelter. The fact of the matter is, we are not big, we are not strong, we are not independent, we're not wealthy, we're not anything. Sit down. We're not the most anything. And we need inherently, by our very construction, we need shelter. The Bhakti Lata Bij, the seed of devotional service, which is planted by the spiritual master in the heart of the disciple. Prabhupada calls it a creeper or a vine. What is a vine or creeper? Immediately looking for to grow. Okay, light, it's looking for, but what does it need to help us find that light? It needs support. It needs to climb on something. We are all, all those pictures you see, tropical beach, beautiful weather, white, pink sand. How many pairs of footprints are always in those? Is there just two prints? One person walking along the beach? What do you always see in every set of footprints strolling along the idyllic beach? Other than Dravida. Who do you know? Mataji. What do you see? You see one pair or... Oh, come on. How many pairs do you see? One pair. You only see one pair? Yes, Joseph. All right. Work with me here, my friend. We all know you always see two pairs because nobody wants to be alone. Isolation, solitary confinement is the worst punishment you can give somebody. We're always looking for shelter. Let me get a drink. Let me find a new girlfriend. Let me play the lottery. I need something. I want. I am not sufficient and satisfied on my own. That is the very nature of the conditioned soul. So it's described here as Jagat in that Nityapada Kamal, the song by Narottam Das Thakur about the mercy of Lord Nityananda. First you have to know the place. Sambandha, Abhideya, Prayojana. Sambandha means you have to understand, what is this place? What are the elements? When you, in the old days, I don't know do kids still make models? Do you make a model airplane, model car? Do anyone do that anymore? No, they're too passionate. They're all they have short attention span, so they're all on video games. Something going on over there? No, okay. So, what's the first thing you're supposed to do? Who said that? 10 points for you. You lay everything out. Okay, now I know where, and I know, okay, now I can start assembling, developing, but I know how everything lays out. So, what is this world? Honestly, actually, without the perfume. Chanakya Pandit says, no matter how you perfume it, a dead rat is a dead rat. So no matter how you perfume this place, it's a dead rat. It's described here by Narottam Das Thakur. We have to struggle hard without any peace. Even they try to go to sleep. They have bad dreams. Or they dream they win the lottery. I dreamt I won the lottery one time. It's a whole story. I was so happy. We built a new temple. We distributed books. I was spending the money left and right. And when I woke up, lo and behold, it was 4:45, and I'd missed my alarm and slept through Mangalarti, and I was poor as a church mouse. So even you get a few minutes of relief. That's all it is, just a dream, and you wake up. So he's laying things out. He says this world is struggling hard without any peace. Then he says Judaya. Judaya means relief. We are all in the core of our heart. And I don't care who it is, whether it's Trump, the President of the United States, everybody's trying to fill some hole in their heart. They weren't nursed enough by their mother, or somebody told them they had a big nose when they were in kindergarten, and they've been in therapy ever since. Whatever it is, everybody's looking for relief. It's a fact. There's miseries. What are the threefold miseries? There's birth, death, disease, and old age. Those are 4. But Adi-bhautik, Adi-daivik, and Adi-atmik. Anyone other than Dravida? 3 points if you just get 1.
Misery is inflicted upon us by the body and the mind.
Okay. Misery is caused by the body and mind. Adi-bhautik, I think it is. I'm Adi-atmik. I got it. I'll get it. You can give me a minute to catch up. So there's always something wrong with the body. There's always something wrong with disturbing the mind. What's another one? You already had your turn. Who else? What's another one? Yeah. Go ahead, Daniel. Miseries caused by other people. I mean, jeez. My favorite, not just people, mosquitoes, demigods, so many, But my favorite line about the richest man in the world. There's only 2 types of people, not asuras and suras. There's people you pay to stay with you, and people you pay to stay away from you. So there's always miseries caused by other living entities. And Jamuna Jivana, what's the other one? Were you going to say another one? Miseries caused by material nature. Yeah. Miseries caused by material nature. It's too hot, it's too cold, earthquakes. Kalakanta Prabhu, who's a very nice devotee. Kalakanta Prabhu finally got it all worked out. He patched his wife, everybody was happy, he had some kids, got a house, had a brand new car. He was living in Alachua, ran for local city city council. He was on top of the world. He drove, it started to rain, then the rain ended. And in his driveway, evidently Alachua in Florida, is on top of a bunch of limestone caverns underneath. And a sinkhole opened up. It opens up and gradually things fall into it. It gets bigger and bigger. His brand new car and eventually his house just fell into a sinkhole over a couple days. Car went first. And then everything just sunk into a sea. I'm on top of the world. Who expects that to happen? A sinkhole opens and everything's sucked into the nether world. So, there's so many different... You have a little cough, stays for a week, you go back, finds out, well, you got terminal cancer. You got 6 weeks. It happens all the time. So, from that Nityananda Kamala, he's laying things out. It's a struggle without peace. We're looking for relief. Without, what is it? Anyway, I think I want to speed up a little bit. He finally gets to the conclusion that without the shelter of Radha and Krishna, our whole life is spoiled. Nothing, at the time of death, what more of a clear analogy could we possibly get? When we come into this world, what clothing are we wearing? It's a trick question, Ram knows. Dravida, what are you wearing?
When you first come in.
Well, first come out of your mother's womb. Nothing, you're bare, buck naked. Did you bring anything with you? Did you bring your bank book with you? Huh? Suresh? No, you got nothing. You have absolutely nothing. And you can barely communicate, you're bald, you're toothless, can't control your bodily functions. It just sucks. And how do you leave this world? You got your nice hair, Matthias, when you leave this world? Nice curly black hair? Huh? Got your teeth? Even your teeth, what more of an indignity could you ask for? You don't even have your teeth anymore. So as you come in, so you go out. It's a very, what do you call it? Disappointing place, actually. So, what do you have? So we want Radha and Krishna. So because I wanted to say one other thing. We have to admit that I'm actually not happy. I bet if I asked you, what do they say in the grocery store or whatever, you're standing in line, how are you? What do people always say? Oh, I'm fine. I was at Trader Joe's the other day, behind us, somebody, and the cashier asked, "How are you?" And the person gave an honest answer. Just opened up. Actually, my health is horrible. My husband just left me. I got fired. I'm this, People in the line were thinking, wrap it up, I mean, they don't want to hear it. They want, how are you? I'm fine. How's your health? I have a new answer when people ask me, how's my health? I say, fine, unless you want details. You want me to tell you the full story? No, I don't want, no. Wrap it up. I don't want to hear all that. So, we're unhappy. We're in a miserable place that's on fire. And we have Lord Nityananda, who's offering his lotus feet, the cause of all causes. And he's offering the shelter which is more soothing than millions of moons. So today is such a day. I'm thinking that we should start singing. But I had one other sheet of paper. And where did it go? Well, oh, I know where it is. It's not a sheet of paper. Don't worry, it's not long. We have to end on time because the deities open at 8:30. But my point is, these are real personalities. I was thinking about this. Now, today is also the appearance day of Lord Boar, Lord Varaha. We're not going to go into it because Balaram did nicely yesterday. But Lord Boar saves the earth on its tusks from an unclean place. So that was Lord Boar's mercy, that he saved the earth from an unclean place. What is Lord Nityananda's mercy? We're talking about Lord Nityananda's mercy. We're talking what it feels like to receive that mercy. We even talked about what it's like to be denied that mercy, this blazing forest fire of material life. So, what is that mercy? That mercy is that the Lord cleans out our heart. We should pray today, because it's a time for prayer. These appearance days and disappearance days, just like the holy tirthas. There was a lady here the other day. I don't know if somebody was, maybe Sankarshan was here with me. And she wanted us to open the gates so we could take a picture. So, yeah, I just got the vibe from her. So I said, I asked her, are you the servant of Krishna? Or is Krishna your servant? She said, oh, Krishna's my servant. 100%. Took me by surprise. So he said, no. Krishna has that was another thing. So she posed right here. She, took off her dark glasses and in front of the deities. It was a picture of her, and the deities were in the background. They were background scenery. People do that all the time. They go to a holy tirtha, and what is the purpose of a holy tirtha? It's like notches on a belt. Oh, I've seen the Taj Mahal, and I saw Govardhan Hill, and I saw the the India Gate. I've been to India, and I took a snapshot of it. Want to see? That's not what it's all about. That's meaningless, frivolous, has no substance. It doesn't last. So what we want is the mercy of Lord Nityananda. And just as Lord Bor saved the earth from an unclean place, Lord Nityananda routs out the heart. His mercy is he removes all the anarthas in the heart. Because when those anarthas are removed, then we can experience the soothing moon of Lord Nityananda. We can get relief when we think everybody in this world is trained to be self-centered, especially as Kali Yuga progresses. What's in it for me? What do I get out of it? How does it please me? One of the secrets for happiness, if we want to receive Lord Nityananda's mercy, what do we have to do in relation to other people other than Dravida? Ladies, you want to let them get all the answers? Huh? You have to give mercy. If you want to get mercy, you have to give mercy. When we stop thinking about ourselves and all of our problems caused by other living entities, problems by the mind and body, problems by material nature, everybody, this lady gushing at Trader Joe's, each one of us could fill this room, could fill the next hour easily. Somebody sent me a cartoon of the guy's lying on the couch and he's telling everything to the psychiatrist, opening up about all of his anxieties and concerns. And the guy's just been gushing and gushing. Behind him, you can see the psychiatrist. He's hung himself. He's had that's it, I can't take it listening to you anymore. Enough, I'm out of here. So how to get out of that cycle? Guess what? Stop thinking about ourselves. Everybody's got problems. You got problems, I got problems, this whole world has problems. I had a basket load of problems in my previous life, and I got them in this life. I got a new set. The only difference is a new set. It may look different, but it's same. I'm carrying the same bag of rocks. So when we learn the art, if we want to give Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy to others, forget my issues. They're always going to be there. And lo and behold, when we give mercy to others, when we concentrate on our own, cleansing our own heart by giving mercy to others, lo and behold, we become happy. We get relief. The anxiety of the world, which is compared to an ocean, shrinks to the water in the hoof print of a calf. The water in the hoof print of a calf, I can step right over it. No problem. So we should in there, we didn't get to singing Nitya-Pada-Kamala, but we talked about some of the purports. That this is the Lord, on these special days, do all that later. On these special days, here's the point. These special days are a channel that cut the way for the ocean of mercy to flow to us. It has to flow through a channel. So Lord Nityananda, this appearance day, the mercy of Chaitanya, of Lord Nityananda, and the power of Lord Nityananda we've described, and the willingness of Lord Nityananda to give his mercy. Now all we have to do is cut the channel and let that mercy flow on us. And that mercy is, if we want to get mercy, we have to give mercy. All glories to Lord Nityananda. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. So now, in a few moments, the deities will open.